Hello everybody, welcome back to Steph's Movies and Music. I am of course your host, Steph. Today we are going to be talking about the David Lee Roth concert here in St. Louis, or the Roth show. It's the Roth show tour, and it's really just that. I mean, David Lee Roth sings sometimes, and then he barks a lot of times, and then he hoots and hollers even more. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what the David Lee Roth show consists of. Before I say anything else, I like the guy. I think he's a wild card for sure, but he's entertaining, and you know, he's a wild and crazy guy. And he's made a lot of good music with Van Halen, and he put out some really good albums just on his own as well. I mean, you got like Crazy from the Heat, the whole EP that he put out in '85, and then Beat 'Em a Smile, and then Skyscraper. I mean, you know, those are all, you know, pretty big albums from the '80s. They're all platinum selling albums. And honestly, as far as Van Halen goes, I think I favor the material with David Lee Roth more than the material with Sammy Hagar. Not to knock on Sammy Hagar at all. I mean, I'm a big fan of his as well. I've seen him twice, and he puts on a great show. He sounds a lot better than Dave. I think he's aged better than him too. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what just happened and what I just saw. Alright, so this is a review of the St. Louis show. This is still the night of. Just happened. I just got home. And I have mixed feelings because I had fun and the band really sounded great. All of the other members except for David Lee Roth. Now I'm going to be showing you clips from the show when we talk about the set list later on in a couple minutes. So the thing with David Lee Roth is, even in like the 70s and 80s, he's been more of a talker kind of singer. Now David Lee Roth's just a talker. He's not a talker singer. He's kind of dropped the singing part and just talks. I mean, the phrasing's off. His tone's completely different. Like he'll go really low like this all of a sudden, and then, you know, he'll freaking shriek and like go or something, you know, like, I don't know. I know I'm making a fool out of myself trying to impersonate David Lee Roth, but I mean, he literally had 4 different guys in the back right corner of the stage basically singing all of his parts for the most part. Especially during the chorus. I mean, they really elevated the whole thing. They really picked up where David Lee Roth was dropping. David Lee Roth wasn't even dropping balls. He was throwing them at the ground. I mean, it's they're like imitating all of the shrieks and, you know, hiccups and yodels that David Lee Roth was famous for doing back in the day. They do it all, and it sounds great when they do it. But then David Lee Roth just kind of like, you know, pitches in, he'll make a sound in the mic, and then he'll pull away for another 30 seconds, and then he'll decide to do something else. It's kind of awkward, to be honest, because there'll be like quiet parts where it's like there's supposed to be someone singing, the backing guys aren't singing, David's not singing, so there's just kind of like dead air almost, but with still some instrumentation. He'll also just make kind of commentary in the middle of the song, and then, you know, and then also like there was a couple points in the middle of songs where like the whole band would just kind of like lower down a little bit, and it would be like kind of like a break between parts of the songs, and he would just like tell like a 5-minute long story, which I love it when musicians tell stories, don't get me wrong. Can you do it between songs though, and not like between verses of a song? You know, that's just, it kind of bothers me. Now let me just say some good commentary here, because there is some good things that happens tonight. The guitar player, I don't know what his name is, I'll put it on the screen if I could find it. Absolutely killer guitarist. I don't know where David Lee Roth found him, or if he was already in a band before this or what. Phenomenal. Very, very, very close to Eddie Van Halen. Shockingly close. Not a complete dead ringer. There are some differences, but there's a lot of similarities, and I was very impressed by him. Honestly, I was more impressed by him doing Eddie Van Halen than Joe Satriani doing Eddie Van Halen on the Sammy Hagar tour. In fact, the guitar work is probably the best part of the evening, to be completely honest with you. There are other good parts. The rest of the band do a very good job too. The keyboardist, he's very good. The drummer, the bass player is adequate, you know, to my ears. I think I've mentioned this before. I can't really pick out bass very well, just to my ears. I'm not a musician or anything. I feel like if I was, then maybe I'd be able to listen for it better, but you know, I can't pick it out from everything else as good. So when people are like, how was the bass player? I'm just like, I couldn't hear him if he sucked, so I guess he was good. And once again, the vocalists were very good. Just David Lee Roth just kind of drug everything down and like threw it in the mud and then, you know, picked it back up and then threw it in the mud again. It's frustrating because tonight could have been a good show if David Lee Roth could just sing as the songs were intended originally, lower some keys. It's not a problem. We will forgive you for lowering keys. But sing the songs with the tempo that they were originally recorded and the phrasings all the way that it was. You don't need to ad-lib anything, just sing how it was. And people will be fine with that. And you know, maybe he has trouble actually singing for extended periods of time. Fine. Shorten the set list. He sang 18 songs tonight. Do 13. Take away 5. Do the hits, maybe a couple deep tracks, you know, Drop Dead Legs and Atomic Punk or something like that. And then have Loverboy or Night Ranger open up for you, and then great. Bam. Would have been a great show. So if David Lee Roth's listening to this, I love you, man. Do some tweaking. Actually sing into the microphone when you're supposed to. Maybe don't throw in as many barks and hollers. Do some of it, but only when it's necessary. Only when it's part of the song. Try to keep that under wraps a little bit. Alright, buddy? Speaking of the songs, let's go ahead and get into them. First off, they came up with Panama. They f***ed that up. Drop Dead Legs, they f***ed that up. Then you got I'm the One. I'll Wait was actually the 4th song they played, and of course they f***ed that one up too. Then he f***ed up Beautiful Girls. He really f***ed up You Really Got Me. After that, he played Running with the Devil. That was pretty bad. Romeo Delight. Dance the Night Away. That's one of those songs where he like played about 2 minutes of the song and then broke it down, went on a tangent for about 5 minutes, and then played the rest of it. Total, it was about 10 minutes long, that song. Didn't need to do that. Could have waited a little bit, but alright. Then they played Mean Street, they played Somebody Get Me a Doctor, Jamie's Crying, Unchained. Then the next song they did was Pretty Woman, and they actually did a halfway decent job with Pretty Woman. I mean, once again, the rest of the band was great, but David Lee Roth actually sung. The key was fine for the most part. He was a bit lower than everybody else, so kind of drug it down a little bit. But the phrasing was good. He was keeping the tempo and keeping up with the rest of the band. So Pretty Woman was good. And thank God, because that's one of my favorite songs by Van Halen. Shout out to the Diver Down album. There's a lot of deep cuts on here. I mean, apart from Pretty Woman, you got Little Guitars, Where Have All the Good Times Gone, Dancing in the Streets. A lot of good stuff on here. So that kind of got my hopes back up. I thought maybe, okay, these last few songs he's going to try to do them right, but he didn't. The next one was Ain't Talking About Love. That one's just as f***ed up as the other ones. Hot for Teacher was okay. Once again, he was off sync, but you know what? It was okay compared to some of the other performances that David Lee Roth himself did. It was okay. Everybody Wants Some was another one that he went off for a tangent for a couple minutes. It made the song like 3 minutes longer and was not necessary. It was okay, I guess. I didn't record any, so you won't be seeing that, but it was okay. And then the last one was Jump. I'm very partial to this song. It's like an anthem in my family. It's an anthem for a lot of people. It's an 80s banger, anthem, whatever you want to call it. It's a really, really big song. Shout out to this album right here. 1984. Banger after banger on here. This is one of 2 diamond-selling albums that Van Halen has to offer, and deservedly so. The other one being this one right here, their self-titled debut. Very good. Very good. Anyways, enough distractions. The last one was Jump. But I think it went over okay. I mean, honestly, his vocals were off, but, you know, the keyboard and musicianship was all pretty good, except for David Lee Roth was kind of mediocre on that one. So, all in all, it was okay. Now, did you notice anything about that? It's all Van Halen stuff, which is great, but at the same time, it's a David Lee Roth concert. It's the Roth show. You think there'd be a couple Dave tunes in there, just solo stuff. He put out some really good material throughout the 80s. All of those spawns like pretty big hits like Yankee Rose, California Girls, the Beach Boys cover, I'm Just a Gigolo, Nobody Wants Me. Anyway, the moral of it all is David Lee Roth had some pretty big success just during his solo career with some big hits, and he didn't play any of them. I mean, once again, I can't help but compare him to Sammy Hagar. When you go and see Sammy Hagar, he doesn't just perform Van Halen. He had a career before, during, and even after his days with Van Halen. So he's gonna play some stuff from, you know, his solo career and some stuff from probably Chickenfoot, and of course his current band, The Circle. Probably something from Montrose, and of course Van Halen stuff. And I feel like David Lee Roth should probably at least throw in maybe Yankee Rose and maybe California Girls, or Just Like Paradise. I just thought I'd put it out there. It's a little disappointing that he didn't play any of his stuff. Of course, it probably wouldn't have sounded that great, so I guess it doesn't even matter. So yeah, do I recommend seeing David Lee Roth? In his current state, no. Not at all. I mean, I went knowing that he's, you know, not great. I went in with very low expectations. It's more of a bucket list thing for me, and I understand if you want to do the same. I'm a younger guy. I've never gotten the chance to see Van Halen or David Lee Roth. I've seen Sammy Hagar twice. I saw him once when I was 13, and another just last year, and he still sounds really good. But David Lee Roth's just... no, I'm sorry. I can't recommend seeing him. If you want to go because you haven't seen him before, or this might be the last time, go ahead. I'm not going to judge you. You do what you want with your money and your life and your time and effort. But I can't recommend you doing that. You know what I mean? So yeah, just to reiterate, he should definitely try to sing. He should be on key with everybody else and in sync with everybody else as well. And if that's a struggle for him to do that for an extended period of time, cut back the set list. Do 12 songs, do 13 songs, maybe, if you could feel up to it. Take out 5 or 6 songs from the set list, and then get an opener. Get, I already mentioned, Night Ranger, Loverboy, maybe even Rick Springfield or something. I mean, like, there's people out there that would be more than happy to do it. Loverboy opened up for Sammy Hagar when I saw him. I'm sure they'd be happy to open up for David Lee Roth. Anyway, guys, this was a rocky show for sure. Not the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm sorry, I kind of threw myself... Wow, I don't know what the hell just happened. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think from the clips that I've shown you. There is potential. There is potential. I keep saying that. I'm beating the dead horse at this point. David Lee Roth sucks, but he doesn't need to suck. There are things that he can do. Take care. Steph signing off.